Buying a home is a huge investment, and it could be a daunting process if it's your first time. Stay tuned and I'll give you tips on how to conquer the home buying process. Hi, my name is Tyree Schaefer, and today we're going to go through the typical steps of the home buying process. While you're watching this video, just keep in mind that the home buying process can be different for everyone, depending on the length of your escrow and whether you'll be using financing, as well as a lot of other factors. The first step you'll want to take is having an initial consultation with a realtor. During this meeting, your realtor should ask you a series of questions to determine your needs and priorities when you're searching for a home. This should include the basics like bedroom and bathroom count as well as price, but it should also go a little bit deeper and kind of figure out what lifestyle you enjoy and your personal taste so they can really get an idea of what kind of home you're looking for. Do you cook often? Maybe a kitchen is important. Do you entertain guests a lot? You might want a big yard. Do you care if your garage is attached or detached, or do you even need a garage at all? Knowing the little details will help your agent visualize what's already in your head, and it can give them ideas of characteristics in a home that you may not even have realized are important to you. Your agent should also go through the different types of agency with you and see which one works best for you. For example, dual agency is allowed in California. This means that the agent's brokerage is representing both the buyer and the seller in a transaction, and the agent themselves might be representing both clients. Now, this could make the negotiation process smoother for you, or it could cause some concern that your agent is also representing the seller. But that's why it's important to discuss the different types of agency with your agent and figure out what's going to work best for you. And finally, if you're going to be getting a mortgage loan, this meeting is the perfect time for you to start talking to your realtor about that. They can refer you to a reliable lender and walk you through the basics of the pre-approval process. And getting this pre-approval should definitely be your next step if you're going to be financing your home purchase. It's important to have this letter from your lender for a couple of reasons. First, this letter tells you how much the lender is willing to lend you, meaning that it gives you a specific budget for your home search and you'll know exactly what you can afford. Second, the letter will give sellers a peace of mind that you're actually able to complete the transaction because the lender has already pre-qualified or pre-approved you. Now, what is the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification? You'll receive a letter for each of them, but the difference is in the amount of investigating that a lender will do before giving you that letter. For pre-qualification, a lender will likely just ask you a series of questions, and based on your answers to those questions, they'll determine whether you'd be eligible for that loan. Because this can be a somewhat unreliable way to determine your loan eligibility, it can look better to a seller if you have a pre-approval. For a pre-approval, a lender will request documents such as pay stubs, tax returns, and bank statements. They'll analyze your paperwork and determine your eligibility based off of these documents. You can also go a step further and get a fully underwritten pre-approval. Basically, with this, an underwriter is going to take the same steps as if they were actually approving you for the loan at that time, and that'll give you an even more secure estimate of how much your lender is willing to lend you for your home purchase. Of course, having a fully underwritten pre-approval is the strongest kind you can have and will look best to the seller. But it does take more time to get, so you'll want to have that conversation with your lender about what will work best for you in that situation. Once you have your pre-approval letter, or if you're buying with cash, the next step is going to be to find the right home for yourself. Your agent should take the information from your initial consult and make a list of homes that you might want to see. They can then take you to open houses or do private showings with you at homes that fit your criteria. After you go to each house, you should talk with your agent and tell them what you liked about it and maybe what didn't fit your needs so much. Giving them this feedback will be really helpful for helping them adjust your home search. Your needs and wants may have changed since your initial consult, so maybe they'll need to work towards what you want now, or it might turn out that certain characteristics in a home are more important than you initially thought. Now, depending on how specific or general your home search was, there could be a lot of homes that fit your criteria. However, it's best to only see a few at a time so that you don't get overwhelmed or confused with all of your options. Once you've finally found the home that's right for you, it's time to put in an offer. Your agent should review comparable sales in the area so that you guys can determine a strong offer price. But depending on the market, you may want to offer below or above that amount. At this point, you'll also want to review the progress of your loan. If you've been searching for homes for a while, make sure your pre-approval is still valid. Other details in the contract should be discussed with your agent too. What personal items do you want included in the sale? Do you want to remove any contingencies? How much are you willing to put down for a deposit? What are you going to ask the seller to pay for? All of these items and more are what's going to make up your offer and eventually the purchase contract, so your agent should really make sure that you're satisfied with the terms before he submits it to the seller's agent. After your offer gets submitted to the seller's agent, they're going to review it with the seller and they're going to either accept, reject, or counter your offer. If they accept it, you'll open escrow and continue on with the transaction. If they reject your offer outright, there's likely a reason that they didn't consider countering, so they likely won't be open to another offer. If they do counter your offer, your agent and the seller's agent are going to negotiate until both you and the seller can reach a mutual agreement. The contract is then going to be finalized and you'll open escrow. Now, the closing process from here is likely going to get a little intense, especially if you have a shorter escrow. And this is because there's a lot to get done before you officially own the home. You'll have to deposit your earnest money, review property disclosures, review the preliminary title report, get inspections completed, arrange for homeowners insurance and home warranty. In short, you'll want to make sure that the home is in an acceptable condition before removing your remaining contingencies. If you're getting a loan, having that finalized is going to be another huge part of this process. You'll need to have the home appraised, and the lender will need to finalize your loan approval. You'll also have to provide the balance of your down payment and closing costs before the transaction closes. You'll then sign documents, wait for your loan to be approved, and wait for your title to be recorded. After that, the transaction will officially close, you'll get your keys, and you'll be ready to move into your new home. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate you hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel for more videos. As always, if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me through Instagram or email, and I'll catch you in the next video.